Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming to my channel and for clicking on this video. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Melissa and I am a BSN student. I'm currently enrolled in Chamberlain University's Accelerated BSN program, so I'm in school to get my bachelor's degree in nursing. So I want to thank everybody so far for all of the questions that you've been giving me and all the feedback that you've been giving me. I've virtually met some people from my campus. I go to Tyson's Corner, which is in Northern Virginia. And I've gotten a lot of questions, and one of the main questions that I get is how much Chamberlain costs. And I know that they have pricing online, and I do want to go over all of that in this video, but pricing can honestly depend on a number of things. One main thing is it depends on what campus you're on or what campus you're looking to go to. Another thing is it depends on how many credits you transfer in with. There's just a whole bunch of different factors that affects pricing. So I want to talk about exactly how much Chamberlain costs, how I personally am able to pay for school, and just get into all of that. So I do want to start this video with a few disclaimers. And the first and main one is that I know that talking about money is very taboo and considered tacky. But before I went to Chamberlain, I was looking up different costs of the program and looking up different YouTube videos. Some people online are very open about how much they're paying and how they're able to afford this program, while a lot of people kind of beat around the bush. I personally do not mind talking about money. It's important to know how much money you're going to be spending on a program before you actually enroll in that program or before you get too far into it. And it's also good to compare costs. So if you're looking to get your BSN at Chamberlain and you can just as easily get it at another school that's maybe closer to you or just another school in your area and it's half the cost, if you're able to do that program, I would honestly encourage you to do that. Now, my second disclaimer is that I do not want this video to come across as me being braggy or me being privileged. I'm just telling you about my personal situation, and I do want to say that I am really blessed. I'm very fortunate for my financial situation. I am married, I don't have children, and so I'm in a household where it's just me and my husband. So we're a dual income household with no kids and no dependents. So that already puts us in a different financial situation than somebody who maybe isn't married or somebody who has kids and has to pay for daycare. I don't have all of those things, fortunately. My very last disclaimer is that I don't have any crazy tips or tricks on how to pay for nursing school, unfortunately. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into the voiceover and the actual cost breakdown of the program. Okay, so this is my very first screen recording and my very first voiceover. So it probably won't be perfect, but hopefully it'll be functional and educational, and that's just my main goal. So if you hear background noise, I'm sorry, but hopefully it will serve its purpose and be educational. So this is the tuition and expenses total cost calculations for Chamberlain. And there is a web page where you can access this chart and another chart I'm going to go over. I will link that in the description below so that you can check it out. So for Chamberlain, the cost of tuition goes by credit, and that cost varies by campus. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be focusing on this column and these campuses because I do attend the Tyson's Corner campus in Northern Virginia, and it'll just be easier for me to focus on this column rather than jumping from line to line. Just so you know, this sheet does go over the total cost of all programs at Chamberlain. So they have MSN tracks, they have RN to BSN, but I'm specifically focusing on the traditional first degree BSN or first nursing degree BSN. So this is not RN to BSN. This is somebody getting their RN and their BSN in one. In general, the traditional BSN program for Tyson's Corner does have 122 credits. You can of course transfer in with credits and that would save you money, but this chart just focuses on somebody who's entering into the program with absolutely no college credits. So before you even attend school, just to apply to the program, you have to pay $95. Chamberlain does have different specials throughout the year where their $95 will also include a HESI exam fee
For those of you who don't know what the HESI is, it's an entrance exam that a lot of nursing schools require. Most schools do require either the TEAS or the HESI, and Chamberlain does require the HESI. So if you reach out to an advisor or just get on Chamberlain's emailing list, I believe that they have deals literally every month where you can pay the $95 application fee, and then it'll also include the cost of your HESI exam or waive the cost of your HESI exam. Sorry, I got an email from my HOA. But anyway, so just reach out to an advisor and see if you can have that done. Another benefit of taking advantage of this deal and taking the HESI through Chamberlain is that your HESI scores will go directly to Chamberlain once you're done. Okay, so once you apply to the school, you take your HESI, let's say you get accepted, you will then need to do a background check and fingerprinting and a drug screening, and all of that costs $200. So I believe that the background check was initiated automatically through the school. I didn't have to do anything. And then the fingerprinting, I had to make an appointment and go to campus to get it done. But for the drug screening, I did have to look up a local clinic on my own. And so I took paperwork that Chamberlain gave me, and I went to the local clinic, and they did my drug test and they sent the results directly to Chamberlain. But that does cost $200 up front. So I'm going to skip over the tuition per credit hour and the total tuition for now and jump ahead to the student services charge. So this is the total cost for the entire program. So your account does get billed $160 per session. And then at the end of the entire program, each session would equate to this $2,880. And to be fully honest, I'm not sure what this cost is for, but it is billed to your account in $160 every session. And then another fee that I did not see on this chart was insurance. So Chamberlain's program does require you to have health insurance, which makes sense because when you go to clinicals, you're exposing yourself to different environments and there is a liability aspect. So the school does require you to have a form of health insurance. You can have your own. So I have my own insurance plan because I work full time and I just have insurance through my work. But if you are under the age of 26 and you're still on your parents' insurance, that's fine. If you have a spouse and you're under their insurance, that's fine. But if you are not under anyone's insurance and you don't have your own, you will need to get insurance through Chamberlain. So I'm going to leave this page and we'll come back to it. And I'm jumping over to Chamberlain's student health insurance plans. So if you don't need this information, you can skip ahead, but I do think it's important for me to at least mention this because there are students or prospective students who may need to get Chamberlain's health insurance plan, and this really isn't listed anywhere in Chamberlain's cost analysis or pricing charts. When I was applying to the school, I didn't see this until after I was accepted and had already started my process of like getting my background check and stuff. For me, it really didn't matter because I already had my insurance, but for somebody who would need this plan and they don't anticipate this cost when they're applying to the school, this could really be a huge shock. This insurance plan, just like every insurance plan, is subject to change based on the year. So this sheet just covers the 2021 to 2022 student health insurance rates. So you can see that Chamberlain's insurance is inclusive. If you are married or have children, there are options for you to put them on your plan, but I'm just going to focus on this first column, assuming that the person who needs insurance, the student, is the only one that needs insurance and they're not trying to cover anybody else. As you can see, Chamberlain's insurance is through Aetna. For the year, for just one person, just the student, the total cost of insurance is $3,758. And they do have different options if you want to do different things. Like this is just insurance coverage for, I think, 1 month and a half, and so on and so forth. These are monthly fees. If you only need insurance for a short amount of time, you can pay by month, but this is insurance coverage for an entire year. So you can just round it up to $4,000. So if you're looking at Chamberlain and you know that you would most likely need to enroll in their plan for an entire year, just estimate out about $4,000 to have insurance coverage. Okay, so back to the tuition and expenses chart. So after you apply to the school, where are we? Okay, so after you pay your $95 application fee, you take your HESI exam, you get accepted, you pay the $200 background drug screening and fingerprinting charge, and then of course you're going to be charged $160 every session, which is every 2 months. So now we can look at the tuition cost, which is of course the bulk of the cost of the program. So the full program for somebody who has no college credits that transferred in with 122 credit hours is going to equate to $85,278. So each credit, as you can see, costs $699. I don't know why they didn't just round up to $700. But if you multiply, of course, 122 with 699, you will get $85,278. Now remember, this is just the total cost of tuition. So this money is in addition to the $200 that you had to pay for your background check, the $95 that you had to pay to apply, the $160 that you're charged per session, and if you're on Chamberlain's insurance plan, the $4,000 that you have to pay per year. So none of that is included in your tuition total. So again, just to be super clear, this is a number that's strictly associated with your classes. And this is for the entire program. So this is after all 3 years, you would be paying you'd be paying $85,278. So I transferred in with 32 credits. So I only have 90 credits to complete in the program. So my tuition cost at the end of the program would equate to $62,910. So transferring in with credits is going to save me at least $22,000. And I do plan to test out of some courses and save more money with scholarships. But that's just to show you, if you do transfer in with credits and you don't have to take 122 credits at Chamberlain, you can save a lot of money. And just my personal opinion, before we go any further, I think that 85,000 is a lot of money for just a bachelor's degree. So the best way to save money would be to go to your local community college and try to knock out as many non-nursing courses as possible. The nursing classes and clinical rotations, of course, you have to take it at Chamberlain, but you can get things like English and history out of the way for a fraction of the cost at your local community college. And I think that'll probably be my next video on how to save money going into Chamberlain and how to save money once you're there. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to books and supplies. And this is $2,700, but this is an estimate. So this, again, everything on here is at the end of the program. So once you finish 3 years at Chamberlain, the school is estimating that you will need to have paid this amount of money. So that equates to $150 per session, so every 2 months. If you are not taking all of your classes at Chamberlain and you got some classes out of the way before you started the program, then this number will be significantly less for you. I also know that there are some people who don't ever or rarely ever buy books for their classes, and if that's you, this number will also be significantly less. I'm used to not buying books for classes with my previous degrees. I'd always wait to see if I actually needed the book or to see if my professors would post PowerPoints, but I've just been buying all my books at Chamberlain so far because I want to be successful. Once I get comfortable in the program, I'll probably stop doing that. But I've been getting ebooks. So ebooks are cheaper than like regular hard copy books. So this number could be like a fraction of the cost for you if you buy ebooks, if you borrow other students' books and stuff like that. So the total cost of Chamberlain, if you are attending one of these campuses, if you transfer in with absolutely no credits, will equate to $91,153. And then, of course, if you're getting your insurance through Chamberlain, you can just round that cost up to $95,000 for a BSN at Chamberlain. And like I said, I'll make a video on ways to save money and enter into the school with credits. So not all students are going to be paying this $91,000 cost. Like I said, I transferred in with 32 credits and I cut my tuition down significantly. So I am not paying this. But if you are paying this or if you need to pay this, the school does have options. There are scholarships that you can apply for, grants, work study programs, financial aid. And then I believe that there are some employers that partner with Chamberlain to do tuition reimbursement. So you have to pay up front, but then you'll get reimbursed for maybe like a third of your tuition or half of your tuition, but don't quote me on that. My job doesn't partner with Chamberlain, so I'm not sure exactly how it works. But this is just the baseline for a standard cost of the program.
Alright, so hopefully that cost breakdown and cost analysis helped you out. As always, thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my videos, please subscribe because it helps me a lot. And I will see you in the next video.